Welcome back to the Go to Work radio show with the one and only Reverend Fred Shaw. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. Go to work, go to work, go to work.
Absolutely. Well, you already know it's always an honor to hear what you have to say and those experiences sharing the experiences that you have, and you're so passionate about Citizens Commission on Human Rights, and just very thankful for you to enlighten me as well as provide a platform to share with others and help them to be informed. And with that said, let's get right to it like you know we do it. That's Electroshock, the attack on women.
Well, women were entrusted upon this earth to protect, to educate, to guide morally and spiritually the younger generations. God put the hands of our future father and when everything the big lion. He's a protector. He makes sure that he provides. The big lion don't provide, the women do, but he's the protector. But in our human culture, the protector, and then the mother's job is to he's the one to and getting along and doing those types of things. So when we see women being assaulted in this country, we're looking at the plan to wipe out the future. See, if we electroshock mothers, which are being done in this country, in fact, I'm gonna give you a statistic
Mm-hmm.
that should be known. 2/3 of the electroshock being done in this country are being done to women. Now that's real interesting since we got the Me Too movement protecting women.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah.
got no domestic violence protecting women. We
Mm-hmm.
got all of this protecting women, but the field that's supposed to protect society,
Mm.
these guys are supposed to be experts in the art of living. They're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be the ones that have the solutions to our problems. And the only solution that they got is to come up with electroshock and use it
Mm.
on women.
Wow.
2/3.
Mm.
Every 100 people, 60 something, 60 something of them are being electroshocked every when it comes to being electroshocked.
Mm.
You know what I mean? 100 people that are being electroshocked, 2/3 of them, 60% or more of them are the ones that are women.
Mm. Mm.
Now,
Mm.
this is very dangerous for society. Any organization that will electroshock women and children,
Mm-hmm.
not your audience, to hear this. Any psychiatrist that want to set up a meeting with you for us to debate, then we can do that. But
Mm-hmm.
any group of people who would electroshock women and children are a criminal organization.
Mm-hmm.
What could make you electroshock a 2-year-old? What kind of spiritual erosion do you have that you would actually electroshock children 0 to 5?
Mm-hmm.
The FDA, who have been cowards, in my opinion, the FDA says that it causes long-term memory loss and miscarriages. Now I don't know why
Mm.
they won't stop it, but
Right.
they says it can cause dementia, tremors,
Mm.
and we allow it to go. Do you know back in the day when they were doing lobotomies? You know what the
Mm-hmm.
lobotomy is. For those who don't know, it's you take this bone above the eyeball, and there's a little hollow area between the bone and the eyeball, and you stick a ice pick type device in there, and you scramble it
Mm-hmm.
around. And when you destroy the brain of the individual, they become quiet and docile, and they consider that mental health treatment. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, it was considered because they got quiet and docile, successful mental health treatment.
Wow.
Even then, 2/3 of it was done to women.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a field that boasts about being health who
Mm-hmm.
are destroying the lives of women. What is
Mm-hmm.
that about?
Right.
More people get electroshock after 65 than before 65 because that's when your Medicare and Medicaid and all that kicks in.
Mm-hmm.
So you just wait one more, then you start electroshocking people.
Mm-hmm.
People have been put in mental institutions and electro. In fact, let me tell you a little history. The Citizens Commission on Human Rights was founded by a psychiatrist in the Church of Scientology. Now, why would those two come together? Because there was a Hungarian man who was babbling according to the psychiatrist incoherently, and they was
Mm-hmm.
drugging him, and they were electroshocking him, and they were doing all of those things. And a doctor, the same one, came through and realized there was nothing wrong with the man. He was only speaking in Hungarian.
Oh, wow.
So because he was speaking in a different language and they didn't know the language, they
Mm-hmm.
labeled him mentally ill and did barbaric treatments to him. He could not have given consent because they couldn't even speak his language and he couldn't speak theirs.
Oh.
So you did this to this individual, which could have been you, could
Mm-hmm.
have been me, could have been anyone that did not speak the language of the doctors.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how long will this fraud be allowed to continue? Now, I'm going to tell you
Mm-hmm.
why it's continuing. It's continuing because of the fact that they make 3 to 5 billion shot.
Mm.
It's the same reason that they keep speaking about the chemical imbalance of the brain, even though the University College of London and others have denounced the whole theory, and they still keep talking about the chemical imbalance of the brain because they make 15.6 billion a year on it.
Wow.
It's about the money.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the profit, not the patient. It's
Mm-hmm.
about the boardroom, not the patient. It's how well we live and who we're willing to sell out.
Mm-hmm.
Who, who will have fancy cars so we can live in
Mm-hmm.
our big houses and have people call us doctors.
Wow.
This is what we're looking at.
Yeah.
This is why fighting. because I have to fight until the light clicks and people realize what happened to the Hungarian man,
Mm-hmm.
what happened to the sister who was a state senator in Atlanta,
Mm.
whose sister, something went wrong, something happened. They don't know if somebody stabbed her. They took her and put her in the mental institution.
Mm.
And before the family could get to her, hear
Mm.
these words. Before the family could get to her, they had electrocuted.
Mm.
So you're supposed to give informed consent. They
Mm-hmm.
supposed to tell you what can happen, tell you the truth, and not lie to you. Tell you the truth on what can happen,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're supposed to make an informed decision. But
Mm.
if they is a little short-term memory loss,
Mm.
but the truth is there are people 10, 15 years later still suffering from it.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who, uh, Janny Skate, the president of CCHR,
Mm.
went through electric shock as a young woman.
Mm.
She's in the hospital and she looks at this lady and she's a mother.
Oh, wow.
She didn't know, do not remember their children. Whoopi Goldberg
Mm-hmm.
said that electric shock had it where her mother couldn't remember the children, and her mother told her, I didn't know who you guys were. I just know I didn't want to go back to that hospital.
Oh,
Whoopi Goldberg's mother.
wow.
In my 30 years or so volunteering and working with CCHR, I have talked to so many people who were permanently damaged. In fact, I've
Mm.
talked to people in the museum. I talked to a person who was transgender, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gender that is normal, there's nothing wrong with it, but then you got to go see a psychiatrist before you can have the change.
Mm.
Now, if there's nothing wrong with it, why do you need to go see a psychiatrist? Well, people say
Mm-hmm.
when you become transgender, you're going to get bullied and all of that. You know, they know that. I don't know that. I don't know that part. The
Mm.
transgender people know that, if that's true or not. But what they did is this transgender person said they electroshocked her, and then she was not the same as she had been, and she was unable to truly take care of herself. And
Mm.
then they took
Mm-hmm.
sexual advantage of her because she couldn't even
Oh,
report them because then they would just stop her disability.
oh, wow.
And knowing she couldn't take care of herself, she had to go to transgender people. And how
Mm.
many women, or maybe men that are not gay, are being subject to that type of behavior. We don't know because they not telling us.
Mm-hmm.
If you are in a mental institution and you get raped, how long does it take before an investigation starts?
Mm.
Would you have already showered and did all of that stuff? I mean, let's say it takes 2 or 3 days or 4 days. Then the chances most
Wow.
people, if they got any wits about them, they're going to shower, they're going to do that type of stuff. Then the investigation will start. If you accuse the doctor, all he has to do is say, Well, the reason she's here is because she's delusional.
Mm.
And then the
Wow.
medication may cause more delusion. It says it on the commercials. So
Mm-hmm.
by the time this thing gets to finish getting investigated, it's basically
Mm.
not something you can prove.
Wow.
This is a dangerous game that we're playing. And so
Mm-hmm.
I just want your audience to know if they really want to do something about it. See, because we can't continue to be spectators and look at it as if it has something to do with somebody else. We must be
Right.
participants. We must
That's
get
right.
involved. We're starting Yama, uh, Women Against Mental Health Abuse. We got Mama, Mothers Against Mental Health Abuse. I'm trying to get papas, pastors against psychiatric abuse. We're trying to create the movements that will take this on. And let me tell you this,
Mm-hmm.
the ministers are meeting with the mayor and them trying to figure out ways for the banks to give them loans when all you have
Mm.
to do is we set up the programs to help the children and then take 25% of the mental health budget or 30%. This is the way we have to start thinking. When we was marching with the boycott, and I'm gonna wrap it up, with the bus boycott back with Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks and all these people, everything is based on how you think. They were marching for the right to be able to sit on the bus in the right place where they want to, and so forth. However, if we'd have thought about it with the Harry Belafontes, the Marlon, James Gardners, all of those people, we could have bought the bus company. We didn't have
Mm-hmm.
to march. So the
Mm.
thing is, it's up to our mindset. So anybody that want to get involved, uh, you want to know about the task force that Nichelle and I are on, and we have 152 people across the nation, then all you have to do is email me at fshawjr@yahoo.com, fshawjr@yahoo.com, and then put in the subject line the Cheryl Pharaoh or go to work. If you want to know where I get my information and things like that, if you want to be able to study this subject and know for yourself, go to cchrint.org. cchrint.org. And and then we can go from there. And if any of you would like to join, live in the South Bay area, want to join the NAACP, contact me through that email. With that, go to work, my sister.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you so much. Go to work. Amen.